Hey guys, Katie here from Mitza Farm, and as you guys know, I am on vacation, and I thought it'd be fun to talk about what I'm reading on my vacation. I'm really focusing on resting while I'm here, and kind of getting a little bit of my energy back. And I found this book shortly before I left. It's called Rhythms of Renewal by Rebecca Lyons, and I have been reading that, and it has been awesome. I really recommend it. I'm about 2/3 of the way done in it, and it really has been a big help to me. It's kind of not just taking what I know and like writing it down, and I'm not a nonfiction reader, so that's a big thing, but it's taking the things I know, but it's also how to apply them to life and why it's important to make sure that is in your life, and just give some good tips on how to implement it, and it is very helpful. So the chapters on Rhythms of Renewal by Rebecca Lyons, the first section is on rest rhythm, and taking inventory of your life and seeing if the things that you're doing in life fit for what you want in life. Then silencing the noise and possibly doing a tech detox. Since I'm on vacation, this is all just working out really well with what I'm doing while I'm here. Get quiet, doing the work in your heart on getting so that you can rest, and why are the reasons why you're not resting. Routines for deep sleep and why deep sleep is important for you. Doing a morning routine so that you can start off your day right and well rested instead of waking up, getting coffee and running. That's what I do. And then making sure that you have a day of rest somewhere in there, making a point to rest. Then the next section is on restoring yourself. The next one is on connection. The next one is on creating rhythm and routines to help you live a lot less stressful. And the subtitle of the book is Trading Stress and Anxiety for a Life of Peace and Purpose, and that was very important to me because as I'm sure you guys have noticed, I talk about getting nervous a lot and my anxiety going through the roof and that kind of stuff. And so I was looking for something that could help me. I'm not a nonfiction reader at all, but I was looking for something that could help me just take a big picture look at life. I know the reasons why I have my anxiety, but I wanted a way to help work through them, because I have a good way of just toughing it out through it, but I want a way to reduce it so that I don't have to deal with it anymore, or it's not as big in my life. A lot of people don't know this about me, but before we bought this farm, I was majorly OCD, and I'd sanitize my kitchen floors like crazy, just hand sanitizer everywhere I went. Guys, I was the mom who bought the gallon hand sanitizers for my kids' teachers at school on a regular basis. And when we bought the farm, it was just one of those moments of make or break, like, hey, you have to put this aside, you have to get over this. And it was a huge struggle, but then slowly, as the chaos of the farm has been slowing down or dying down, I'm noticing the anxiety creeping up in other places, and we had a very rough 2019, and so there are reasons why my anxiety is totally slipping back, but and I know the reasons and I know why, but it's getting to the point where I always joke, I don't want to leave the farm, but I don't want to leave the farm, and I'm nervous about what will happen if I leave, what catastrophe is going to happen if I'm not there, and that's not okay. And so this trip for me being gone for 2 weeks, guys, is huge. I am so grateful that Owen and his parents have let me come on this, and they've picked up all the pieces everywhere where they need to be picked up and doing them so that I'm able to come on this trip and get some rest and refresh myself. And so I'm so grateful for that. But a big goal of mine was to work through a lot of this and to just rest so I'm not so exhausted, and so I'm not waking up at night just paranoid about what's happening outside, or what could happen. And so to me, this was a big trip, and I feel like I'm getting there. I am doing a lot of resting and just sitting on the beach and watching the waves, which is my favorite thing to do here. I mean, how could you not, when this is behind you, this beautiful ocean and the whales and everything? And so how could you not want to just sit and watch that? But it was very, very important for me to try to renew myself and get over some of this anxiety so that I could focus on my family more and the farm more and being more productive, and not worrying so much about all of the issues that could potentially happen. So that is why I chose this book, and so far it is doing great. So far I am absolutely loving it. I'm about 2/3 of the way through, and I'm actually going back in areas where I didn't really take a lot of notes, and I'm going back and I'm retaking notes, just kind of as things go deeper, and I am so grateful that I found that. Another book that I am reading is Christmas Trees for Pleasure or Profit, and that is a book that I've read a few times, and it's great. I don't want to say it's a great read, but it's a good thing to read after finishing the Christmas season, because then I can go through and I can pick out some things to implement for next year. And then the same goes for Christmas Trees, Growing and Selling Trees, Wreaths, and Greens. These are books that I've had for a few years now, and I've read them multiple times, but I'm just skimming over them, taking some things I'd like to implement for next year and focusing on that, and trying to implement them into our plans for next year's Christmas tree season. Kind of silly being on the ocean and being in January and talking about Christmas tree season, but it's a great time for me to actually detach, pull the stresses from life away, and focus on the big picture. So that is what I have been doing on this trip. Not a lot of sightseeing, not a lot of going out and doing stuff, just really focusing on resting and renewing myself so that 2020 is a great year for us. That's it for today's video, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time.